Hey everybody, Sue's here from Revelation Quilts. I've kind of been making a list lately of all the things about me as a quilter that maybe might be unique or kind of quirky in a way. And it just got me thinking about, I wonder how many other people have quirky things about them too. And so as I go through this list of things that I think make me quirky, I want you to start thinking about the things that might make you quirky too as a quilter, and I want you to let me know what those things are in the comments because I'm super excited to kind of see where I fit in and where I compare to other people who are also quirky, because we have to all be quirky and weird and kind of funky in a way, because if we were all the same, that would be super boring. So let's get started. I have a lot of fabric, as I'm sure many of you do, but the one thing about me as a quilter, and I just realized this not too long ago, is I do not own any novelty fabrics. Anything that's licensed, you know, like cartoon characters or anything like that, sports teams. I don't even own any holiday fabric. I don't own any Christmas fabric, any 4th of July fabric, whatever's out there. I don't own anything like that. All my fabric is super, I don't want to say generic, but it's just not associated with anything that's novelty in any way, shape, or form. So I don't have any Disney characters on my fabric. I don't even have any fabric that's like cutesy, like with like little unicorns on it or anything like that. And I just realized that about myself. It's not like I didn't purposely not purchase any of that type of fabric. I've just never been attracted to it. So I've never bought any, and I've never really been gifted any either. And if I did, I don't know what I'd do with it, because it's just not the kind of projects that I generally tend to work on or tend to make. So that is one thing about me and my fabric stash. Like I said, is I just do not own one single piece of novelty or holiday fabric. Weird, huh? Another thing you should know about me is I never ever put water in my iron. I never use steam in my iron. If I need to iron a piece of fabric, I have this awesome spray mister. It's got a long mist and it just super fine mist. I love it. And so if I need moisture on my fabric to get it to lay flat, I always use the mister. I never put water in my iron. I think that it makes your iron not last as long, and minerals and buildup can get in that water tank. And if for some reason you don't use your iron for a while, you got to clean it out, empty that out. I've seen a lot of nasty water come out of an iron. So I just think that it's going to make my iron last longer, and I don't want to have to keep refilling my iron. So I rarely use steam. The second part of that is that I have never starched a piece of fabric in my entire life. And this is just a personal preference. I know that some people love to starch every piece of fabric that they have, and that's fine. I just don't want to be bothered with it. I've never felt the need to starch any of my fabric. The only time that I maybe should have or could have starched fabric is when I made my men's t-shirt, men's plaid shirt quilts. Some of that was kind of a little flimsy, so that might have been a good idea to starch some of that fabric, but I just didn't want to bother with it, so I didn't. And so maybe someday I will start starching fabric, but for now I've never felt that I've had the need for it. So I've never starched a piece of fabric in my entire career of quilting. Another thing that's kind of weird about me, or unique about me when it comes to quilting, is that if it's trendy, I do not want it. So I have still yet to own a piece of K-facet fabric. I don't own any of it. I may have a scrap or two, and if that was maybe given to me by somebody as part of their scraps that they didn't want anymore. But I don't think I own anything that that is super trendy. And actually, if it's super trendy and everybody's got it, then that is actually kind of a turnoff for me. I don't want it. I want things that are unique, and I tend to buy things because I like them, not because everybody else has them. And that is actually kind of true in everything that I have. My wardrobe, for example, designer things. I will only get it if I like it. I won't get something because of the brand name. Like, you know, I love a good handbag, but I'm not going to buy a handbag just because it's a Coach purse or any other of the, you know, the trendy name brand things. That just doesn't appeal to me at all, to own something just because it's trendy, or I can say, well, I own this, you know, that sort of a thing. The only really, I don't even know that it's trendy. I like Jeeps. Like, I have a Jeep. I'm on my second Jeep. I really enjoy Jeeps, but that has nothing to do with quilting. That's besides the point. It's just who I am, you know. The other thing that's kind of a note on that, especially when it comes to my wardrobe or clothing, is that if it's ugly, chances are higher that I might buy it. I know that's so weird, but you know, like, I have some sweaters that were left all by themselves on that clearance rack because everyone thought they were ugly, but that just made them appeal to me even more, because I knew that if most people thought that that was ugly, then I should probably have it because nobody else will like it. Same with kind of ugly fabric. Like, I sometimes tend to choose fabric that I think nobody else will like. And I've heard people say that the smaller you cut that fabric down, the more attractive it becomes. And sometimes that is very true, but I like kind of ugly things. And so, or what most people would call ugly. You know, ugly is not a good word to throw around sometimes, but I tend to, maybe it's because I feel sorry for it, that I feel like I should help it out and own it myself. Maybe that's where that comes from. I don't know. What do you think? Probably one thing you should know about me as a quilter is that I am not a quilt snob about anything. So there's so many people that will only use one brand of thread or one type of batting or things like that. And I have to tell you that although there are things I prefer about thread and batting, I like 80-20 batting, but I'm not going to be picky about the brand name or anything like that. Same with thread. I like certain materials of thread depending on what I'm using it for, but I am not loyal to only one brand, because I think different brands have different qualities, and there are certain people who will swear by a certain type, but not me. Also, when it comes to where I shop, and just between you and I have been shamed by some of the places. Like, if I say that I got something online, then people have shamed me for, or attempted to shame me for, not shopping at my local quilt store instead, or things like that. And not every little town, not every place has a local quilt store, so people can get their items wherever they want. And I will never, ever shame someone else for where they get their things. Everybody has their own choices, and I like to experiment with different things, different brands, and different fabrics and things like that. But people have such strong feelings about things like that, and they're not afraid to let me know. But that's okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. All opinions are welcome, and all opinions matter. But I'm not going to get sucked into one brand of anything or one type of anything. Another thing that I think that you should know about me, and I would guess that you're probably the same, well, at least 92% of you are the same, is that we don't like the quilt police. And For me, quilt police means that if somebody says you're doing it wrong or this is the way you should do it, anything that has the word should in it, I don't like. How can you be innovative and create new things if you're always stuck doing something one way? So I saw a pin the other day that said the correct way to put a border on a quilt. And that just kind of got my blood boiling a little bit, because there are a lot of ways to put a border on a quilt. And their way is not necessarily the correct way. It might be correct for them, and that's great, but it's not the only way. If I want to go to the airport, there are many different ways to get to the airport. I can ride a bike, I can walk, I can take a bus, I can go a different route, I can take a helicopter. What matters is that I made it to the airport, not how I got there. So the result is what matters, not how you get there. So I encourage you to try new things, try different ways of doing things. And when the quilt police come to my house and say, you're doing it wrong, that's not the way you're supposed to do it, instantly my mind shuts them out. And I've had to mature a little in how I deal with the quilt police, but I understand that people get stuck in their ways, and there's only one way to do it, and it's their way, and that's the only way they're ever going to do it, and I think that's great for them. But that's not good for me, because I like to try new things, and if I only get stuck doing it one way, that becomes boring for me. My grandmother used to say that if you quilt something by machine, that's cheating. So times change and things change, and the quilt police really have no place in my life, but we have to learn how to deal with them, and we can just politely say, you know what, I understand that that's the way that you like to do it, but I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna do it the best way that works for me. We can still love the quilt police, we just don't have to tolerate or listen to what they say. And the one last thing that I can think of is that I think that I hate clutter and I hate disorganization. And so before I start a new project, I have to make sure that my sewing studio is starting fresh. So I clean everything up. I start with nothing by my sewing machine, nothing on my cutting table, and I just have to clear my mind of any previous projects before I start on something new. So I always reorganize and clean my quilting studio or my sewing table or anything before I start on a new project. I lint roll my design board and just stuff like that. So I just feel like the more clean or the more organized your spaces, then the more organized and less chaotic that your brain is. And so those are my things. If you want to find out how I organize my fabric stash, check out this video right here.